Welcome to Todd Talk. Today I want to tell you about the time I was on Portlandia.
Todd Talk is brought to you by Portland. It's weird here.
So Portlandia was a comedy sketch television program that was on from 2011 to 2018. It starred Fred Armisen from Saturday Night Live fame and Carrie Brownstein, who was in the band Sleater-Kinney. The whole premise was that it kind of spoofed the weirdness and hipster quality of Portland at the time. The very first episode, they sing this song about how the dream of the 90s is alive in Portland. You know, it's a place where you can go and get piercings and tattoos and go to clown school, and it's where young people go to retire. It was shot in Portland, and a lot of the locations were very familiar, and a lot of the people in the scenes and the different sketches were locals. And so you would see a lot of people that you knew or had seen around town. Growing up in Portland in the 90s, I totally got it. It was just this really bizarre and kind of interesting place. It wasn't Seattle. We weren't doing the whole grunge thing, but it wasn't San Francisco either. So anyway, the summer of 2010 was the first time I ever found myself unemployed. I had worked for a place for about 10 years, and we were planning on expanding, but then the economy and the recession and everything got kind of weird, and we ended up scaling back, and so my job just basically dissolved. And during this time, I really kind of focused on, what do I care about? What's important to me? And so I took my time finding a job. I didn't want to just work for anybody. And in the meantime, I spent a lot of time just being creative and hanging out with artsy types of people. During this time, I made a lot of art. I did a gallery show. I did some film festivals. I did all kinds of just really creative things. And I had a couple of artsy friends who were involved in a project that was called Trek in the Park. Trek in the Park is pretty much exactly what you think it is. It's kind of like Shakespeare in the Park, but Star Trek. So this little troupe of people, they would perform an episode of the original Star Trek series in this little amphitheater in a park. And people could just show up and watch the episode. And it was very well done. Very, very minimal sets. The acting was fantastic. And it became kind of this cultural thing that everybody was talking about. Some people would go every weekend and go watch Trek in the Park. Over the run, they did a couple of different episodes. And so, you would want to go back and see them again, and it was very, very, very fun. For the season 2 finale of Portlandia, they decided they wanted to include some of the performance of Trek in the Park. And so they encouraged lots of people to come out, so there were lots and lots of extras, and there was a film crew there, of course, and it was a really cool experience. So once Trek in the Park kind of wraps up their show, the Portlandia people then say, hey, we're doing this thing where, people are going out for brunch, and there's going to be this really long line. And so anybody who wants to just come and stand in line to make this line look really long, we would appreciate it. And I was like, sure, I'm unemployed. I got nothing better to do. And so the season finale of season 2 of Portlandia was called Brunch Village. And this couple decide they're going to go out for brunch. And when they get to the place, the line is absurdly long. It goes across the city. And so when I arrive at this little coffee shop, there's this line that just goes for blocks and blocks and blocks. And so I walked down to wherever I could find sort of the end of the line, and I just kind of hung out. And after just a little bit, this production assistant came along, and there was a couple people in front of me, and he basically goes, you, come with me. And so I follow this production assistant, and he takes us to the front of the line. The two people that I had been standing behind, they had speaking lines in this episode. And I don't know if they were just hanging out and I just happened to queue up behind them or what. But basically, I am the 5th person in line for brunch in the Brunch Village episode. And there I am right there. If you're from Portland, Portlandia is a must-watch. If you just like quirky, weird humor, it's also very, very good. So that's the part that I got to play in Portlandia.